Oh, yeah. 5-star. LSU. I said, they ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU, huh? They ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU. We the best in the league if you looking for talent. LSU going hard, but we beat Alabama, then we going out to Florida. Drown the Gators, everybody getting bucked when we step in the stadium. This the LSU anthem, you know it's a hit. You don't know another rapper two-step like this. See me screaming out the window, yelling purple and gold. I'm an LSU fan, girl, you know how we roll now. Back and back it on up, hey. Back and back it on up, hey. Back and back it on up, hey. Back and back it on up, hey.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry for the delay in the start. Welcome to the Tigers Avenue. We had our mic muted. Sorry, malfunction. We're in a different place, so we weren't quite set up fully yet. As you can tell, we're here at the infamous balcony with the Balcony Bengals with Mr. Brandon himself. What's up, Brandon?
Nothing much, man. Coming off a tough LSU loss, man. Nothing but frustration, to tell you the truth.
Will Wade was definitely frustrated there at the end.
Understandably,
and during the whole game.
Understandably so.
During most of the game.
Yeah, it was pretty tense there for a little bit, especially to close out first half with the fouls that were not called.
Yeah.
And then he gets the tech, and then they close the half out with the shot.
Yeah.
And he was pretty livid.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Will definitely in that position. I don't blame him for getting that tech. I understand, coaches do make mistakes, especially Will Wade is a young coach. He's going to make mistakes.
Yep.
But I don't blame him for that tech at all. I mean, and, of course, Jimmy Dykes says, they asked Will Wade, Marty McGee asked Will Wade before half, well, what happened on the tech? I asked how much time was left on the clock, 20, whatever it was.
Yep.
And that's when he got teed up. And Jimmy Dykes, of course, doesn't believe that's the truth. He, of course, thinks that's a lie because everybody hates Will Wade, especially Jimmy Dykes. But then again, everybody hates Jimmy Dykes. So.
Of course.
Yeah. Just a quick thought there. Jimmy Dykes is full of crap.
I got to say, comment on this game. I really had a lot of faith in our Tigers for today because I've said this off air a lot, but it's really hard to beat a team three times in one season.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Bama did it to us last year, and Arkansas did it to us this year.
But it's Arkansas.
It's Arkansas. You would think we could at least pull one out against Arkansas. We went 2 for 3 against them last year, 0 for 3 this year, unfortunately. But anyways.
Yeah, I mean, but considering how we just played them in Bud Walton, and then now you're coming to Tampa, and it's a neutral site, and you feel like you really had that game won when J.D. Notae clearly walked, and they called the foul on Mwani there. You feel like LSU is going to capitalize on this chance. And I mean, in all honesty, they didn't. I mean, they did hurt themselves a lot in this game as well. But the constant whistles are something that seems to be a theme with LSU. Brandon, you even mentioned to us before the show, it felt like the refs were swallowing the whistle in all conference games.
Tournament long. Tournament long. I get it. It's March. You let them play. As soon as LSU takes the court, I know we play aggressive defense, but it's just whistle. Man, it's tough. And I know some of them are definitely LSU's fault.
Yeah.
Dumb fouls here and there, but
I'm looking at it right now.
It's frustrating to say the least. You watch Auburn and Texas A&M play the game before. It is just a hack job in the paint the whole game.
Yeah.
And they let them play, and then you get in an LSU Arkansas game. Xavier Pinson tries to take a charge like the flopper Jalen Williams.
Yep.
Block.
Yeah.
So surprisingly, last game against Arkansas, there was 42 fouls called, and this game against Arkansas, there's 42 fouls called.
Wow. 42 fouls. How do you watch a game with 42 fouls, Greg?
You're averaging more than one foul a minute. It's absurd. In 2 games against Arkansas, twice in a row that happens. That's
80.
That's absurd.
Quick math, 84 fouls in 2
games.
I mean,
that is ridiculous.
I know both teams play aggressive defense, but Greg Sankey, how is that watchable to your audience, Greg?
It's not.
The SEC basketball officiating is a joke Fire every one of them and give me a new squad.
A different conference. Bring in
Terry,
there, guys.
Pat, all of them. What's the other one's name? Goat Man? No. Oh, well,
No.
whatever.
So, look,
We don't need to know his name. He needs to be gone.
Yeah.
we're going to discuss some more about the SEC tournament. We need to talk about 2 games.
Yeah, we're going to have to withhold ourselves.
So we're going to hold ourselves here because our first point of today's show is an important one.
Oh.
We've got to talk about the notice of allegations that LSU has received. We understand, Brandon.
Oh, Pat.
We understand, Brandon, that you're pretty passionate about this. Let us know how you feel.
Pat 40.
Watch yourself.
Pat 40.
Watch
you
it.
can kick rocks, all right? Pat 40 is a joke of a journalist, a joke of a reporter. He comes out with the same god-darn report every year that is total garbage.
Same information every time.
Same information
thing.
every time. If LSU receives notification that Will Wade broke a federal law, he may be fired.
It's the same.
No
description.
crap, Pat. No crap.
We don't know this already.
It happens. It seems
It's the
to
same.
happen.
It's the same conversation between Wade and Dawkins every single time.
Yeah.
They put the entire transcript of the conversation in every single article. We don't need to read the transcript of the conversation. We've already read it 5 times.
from the such and such documentary.
Let alone
of-
outside
Guess what, Pat? They ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing, Pat. They're asking from within the program. They're asking LSU's assistants what they had for breakfast. Are you kidding me? That is a joke. That is a joke. They ain't got nothing. They investigated Auburn for 2 years. Boom. Penalty. First of all, a joke of a penalty. Whatever. Okay. But then they come to LSU. Oh, here comes sanctions. There's Dickie V.
4
Here
years.
comes sanctions.
4
It's
years.
been 4 years, Pat.
Yep.
They ain't got nothing. Just admit that you don't like LSU. And Dickie V. Don't even get me started on Dickie V. The man, bless his heart, all right? He's got cancer.
He's battling cancer.
I understand. Okay. So I can't say too much bad about him. All right.
But he's got it out against him.
He's got it.
He's got it out
Him
against
and
us.
Pat 40, bro. 2 peas in a pie. Drives me nuts. That's
You, it really seems like every single year, right here before tournament time,
It's
this is when
unbelievable.
it comes out.
It's unbelievable.
It's not. It doesn't seem that way.
It is that way. And furthermore, if you had something, why is it taking 4 years
Yeah.
to come out? with
Yep.
it?
If you had something, please. I'm not saying that everybody in college basketball is innocent. All right. But
Correct.
what can you prove? There's a
Correct.
strong bleep offer. Okay. There's
Yeah.
a strong offer. A strong offer of what? You can't prove it.
Yep.
So kick rock.
Now I
Pat.
will be the bummer of this conversation.
Oh, goodness.
So NOA notice of allegations. When they say the word allegations, we need to get off that word. Really, it's talking about evidence. So there's some sort of evidence that they believe they have to accuse LSU for wrongdoing. The question is, what is that evidence? What is the amount of that evidence? I don't know how to phrase it, but is this going to be a level 1, a level 2, and
significance,
the significance? Thank you, Brandon. Of that penalty, of that evidence, and how hard is it going to affect LSU basketball, potentially LSU sports in general? Is this going to be a level 1, a level 2 violation? From what Will Wade mentioned in his press conference the other day after the win against Missouri, it seems like he's pretty confident and seems like he's not worried about what they have or what they are saying that they have. So when it first came out, and me and Reagan discussed it, and I got a little worried because obviously the NOA has now come. It's been talked about, but now it has come. And of course, we're going to have to now await a response from LSU.
Correct.
Then we're going to have to await a response from the NCAA, and then of course
CCU.
the CCU, and then of course there'll be a hearing and all that good stuff.
It's going to be a while.
It's going to be months and months until
possibly 4 more years.
Yeah, I'd be fine with it. But the question is, what is it? And it seems like Will Wade, based on his comments the other day, is completely confident that this is not going to be any skin off his nose.
Now here's and we are LSU fans and we want to support LSU through this. Yeah. But we have to look at this we got to take the purple and gold lenses off and maybe have a reality check here. The NCAA has it out for Will Wade.
Oh, there's not
no question.
No lies detected.
No question the NCAA has it out for Will Wade. Mm-hmm. And I will not be surprised if something does come forth eventually. No telling how long it may take. Yeah. But like Zach said, level 1
they need
violations. But you also here's the thing that scares me the most, because they do have it out for Will Wade.
Yeah.
And in his confidence, it may irritate the NCAA more, which may prompt them to take it out on LSU even more. And they have bundled basketball with football. And here is the major thing. If LSU gets hit with lack of institutional control, and let me preface this, I do not believe that LSU will be hit with lack of institutional control. I don't believe it will go this far. But if they do, you are talking about some significant penalties coming towards LSU. I'm trying not to stress you out, but we got to look at it from a realistic perspective here.
That was my thing, Brandon, when he was messaging me right after they released the article. I was like, I don't want to hear this.
Now,
don't want to hear this.
I don't think that that football is going to be majorly hit. I don't think this is going to come true. But in the case, see you, Goat Man.
Everybody say goodbye to Goat Man.
Goat Man's headed out. See you, Goat Man. So in the case that's like worst case scenario, right? That's worst case scenario.
Yeah.
LSU gets hit with major penalties, postseason bans. Let's say even football gets hit with postseason bans.
Yeah.
In reality, we know that BK is 60 years old, and he's here on a 10-year contract, and he's probably going to play that 10-year contract out and retire. And he's here to play those 10 years and get a championship. And if we get hit with a postseason ban, what reason does he have to stay? What reason does BK have to stay here when he is on the cusp of his retirement, probably 10 years, maybe a little bit more than that, trying to win a national championship, and then the program he's come to is now banned from the postseason? What would keep him from leaving? And this is worst case scenario.
Ed,
of course.
what were you doing, Ed?
And I mean, Ed was dropped from those Title IX investigations. We understand that.
It was all crap.
But
can't speak.
But football is bundled into this, and so if we get hit with that, it's going to be really interesting how that all plays out.
It seems really like they are using football to try and hang basketball. Yeah, they're using. It seems they are using football as leverage to hang basketball in Will Wade.
And
all I can say is trust in Scott Woodward. That man is a magical leprechaun. Okay, he comes up with everything you can think of. If you are worried about it, don't worry.
Don't worry about it.
Scott has got it. He's 3 steps ahead of everybody.
Correct.
That's my one thing.
Exactly.
I don't know Scott Woodward on a personal basis, but on just minimal communication with the man at basketball games or wherever it may be. He gives the vibe that I've got this.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. I'm 3 steps ahead of everybody else. And that's what I trust in personally.
Correct.
Thank the Lord for Scott Woodward and not Joe Oliva, because under his leadership, I really do feel like he's 3 steps ahead of the NCAA. He's 3 steps ahead of everybody, and he's going to put us in a good spot. And for him to come here to LSU with this dumpster fire of an athletic program when he came here,
absolutely,
and to believe in it and have enough love in LSU in his heart, to try to bring it back to what it can be, and for him to believe what it should be. That's what I'm excited about from Scott Woodward's standpoint. And I trust in him that, regardless of what happens in any allegations, any whatever, any laws, any rules, anything, any allegations that come down, I trust in Scott Woodward.
It'll be handled a lot more professionally, and it will be so much more smoother than what we may have seen from Joe Oliva, who probably is at fault for some of the stuff. And why he is no longer here. Yeah. And so that's the good thing. That's the good thing. That Scott Woodward's in charge. So if the worst case scenario happens,
he's going to handle it.
He's going to handle it, and we'll see how that plays out. Now, the good thing is I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
But speaking of Scott Woodward, Zach.
What a legend.
Speaking of Scott Woodward, yes, and Scott we trust.
In Scott we trust.
We do.
Zach believes that
Oh gosh, we're gonna get into
understanding that there are potential allegations. Why in the world would Scott Woodward go out and spend this money and contact boosters
Because he knows best.
to bring in a coach like Brian Kelly if there are potential allegations coming along? And my argument is, why in the world, as a program with LSU, and he comes here to revitalize the program, he is not going to shy away from these allegations and go and hire a podunk, like subpar coach, like settle for less,
Like
just
Jimbo-
because he's scared of upcoming
Like
allegations.
Jimbo Fisher.
Like Jimbo Fisher. But
Bill O'Brien.
if you were considering like allegation, let's say if I'm Scott Woodward and I'm like, I can't hire an elite coach right now because we have potential allegations. Let me go hire Bill O'Brien. You know how irritated LSU fans would be at that type of hire? No. Scott Woodward is coming in here with a mission to bring LSU athletics back to the top where it belongs.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of elite athletic programs. And Scott Woodward has brought in several coaches so far, namely Jay Johnson, Kim Mulkey, Brian Kelly, and you know from Brian Kelly's press conference that alignment was the biggest thing. And that's what Scott Woodward is doing amongst his entire athletic program. So just because there's allegations potentially coming, he's not going to settle for less and go hire a coach that everybody would kind of sigh at when we hired him. Instead, he goes and gets a almost $100 million contract for Brian Kelly and brings in the winningest college football coach presently.
Yep. And
So what do you mean by why would he go do that?
So I don't disagree with basically everything you just said. My point is, I don't believe, and here's why I say this, because I believe Scott Woodward is ahead of the game, as we mentioned already. He's already 5-10 steps ahead of this game. It's not like this NOA took him by surprise. I mean, he didn't find out. There's
Correct.
no way in my mind that Scott Woodward found out about this information whenever it was released to the public by
Correct.
Pat Ford. He knew it was coming down the pipe already.
Yeah,
He probably
he's known
knew
this.
months and months and months out that this was going to happen, even though
Yes.
we've been hearing. I mean, he knew that. So my point is, why I'm confident in believing that nothing like uncontrolled, how you say institution,
Lack of
institutional control. I don't think any of that is going to happen. My confidence, because I don't think BK would go to those boosters and say, hey, I need $100 million for a coach.
Yeah.
When he knows good and well this is coming down the pipe and maybe potentially we're going to get hit with this.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I'm saying. And that's why I say I'm confident that
That's not going to happen.
that nothing big is going to happen, because why in the world would you say, all right, we're going to bring in BK, we're going to hype up all these fans, we're going to bring in, even though that we're going to bring in Kim Mulkey, all these big time coaches, we're going to pay them great salaries. Why in the world would he do that and go to each of these boosters and say, hey, I need this amount of money and I need you to cut a check for it right now? Like, why would he do that if he knows good and well they're about to be hit with I can't even say
Lack of
institutional control, whatever it means. Not running the program correctly. So that is all I'm saying. I agree with everything you just said, except for that one point. I think, and that's why I'm saying that I believe him. I mean, you saw the confidence out of Will Wade the other day when he was asked about it after the Missouri game. It doesn't seem like he's worried at all. And so, and that's why I'm saying I don't think BK's worried, because he believes he knows what's about to actually.
So what you're saying is you don't think there's actually something major?
I do not think there is, because why in the world would he bring BK, hype up all the fans, hype up the just LSU
I still think
in
even
general.
if he thought that could potentially happen, that Scott Woodward's not going to scare away from that. I still think
if he did think that was going to happen, then I think that has probably been addressed to Brian Kelly.
Absolutely.
I don't think Scott Woodward's just going to leave Brian Kelly in the dark. Scott Woodward's not that type of AD, right?
Especially when you hear
lineman
lineman.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Did he celebrate the LSU loss?
Pat 40.
He loves to celebrate the LSU loss.
With a tweet
The shades.
from Miles Diaz. Not a great week for LSU men's basketball. Beaten for the third time by Arkansas. And this, ... Pat, you just posted the same article you posted 3 days ago! It's the same article, Pat! And you can report me on Twitter all you want.
You know what's sad? Pat 40 was a really good journalist.
No, he's a joke.
He was, no. Here's what I'm saying, Brandon. Pat 40 was a really good journalist and really good at what he was doing until he tied himself to this LSU nonsense.
20 minutes ago, Pat 40 post. Not a great week for LSU men's basketball. Beaten for the third time by Arkansas. And
thanks for telling us what we already know.
It's the same article, Pat. It's the same article. What are you doing?
He couldn't come up with something new.
People get fired for this crap, Pat. This is a joke, Pat. I'm going to find you one day. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to talk to you face. I'm going to talk to you face to face where you can't report me on Twitter.
Right, Brett, we know Brandon's passionate. Let's get to some of the comments and let's see.
Yeah. What do they have to say about Pat 40?
I know at least I saw.
We see Danny
commenting here.
She said, let's see, it doesn't really matter because if they keep playing like this in tournament, the tournament run won't be long.
I can't get
anyways. Well, I mean, you may have a point there, Danny, but the whistles were very heavy. So hopefully
this Pat 40 officiating crew is garbage.
Now we're tying the officiating crew.
Oh, yeah. Now we're
to Pat 40.
Hey,
they're both a joke.
You never know.
It's a clown show.
I'll be the true party pooper and say it. If he is paying players to come, then at least pay some that can make a shot. Still fired up from another loss. Sorry, not sorry.
Can't comment on that.
Wow, Danny. Wow.
Can't comment on
Danny throwing shots.
No comment on that.
Hey, Julian Phillips, that's all I can say.
The shades. Bobby likes the shades there, Brandon.
All right, I'll put them
the
back.
Clean shades. Are those the Joe Burrow shades?
These are the shicey shades.
Those are the shicey shades. I like it. All right.
Sure,
the NOA, we got okay, we've hit on the ugly.
Bro, they're blasting Pat.
We've hit on the ugly. Let's move forward here to the next point. Baseball does get it done today. Your boys with Tigers Avenue, we were in attendance today for the Bethune-Cookman baseball game, and they survived. They survived.
I think we can say
Zach, give me your initial thoughts.
Well, Reagan mentioned this at the game, and I hate to say this.
I did
but
say it. I'll take full credit for this.
And maybe I don't even think this is. I think this is, as you mentioned earlier, Reagan. Maybe this is taking the purple and gold glasses off a bit, and trying to get a reality check for this team. I hate to say this. Maybe this team was a little too much overhyped. Yeah. I'm not saying by any means that this team cannot be elite because they
can be.
They have the prospects and the players to be the best team in the country.
Absolutely.
And I full-heartedly believe that they can play and be the best team in the country. You can't tell me that you have Dylan Cruz, Jacob Berry, Trey Morgan, Kay Doty, Gavin Dugas, Braden Jobert, and you're not one of the best top at least probably top 5 teams in the country. I think they have that potential. I think definitely with the components they have. But maybe we just overhyped them a little too much because we thought with all this team's potential and the new
hire,
that's my point. We have to realize that this team is still learning to play with each other. I mean, and they're still learning under the leadership of Jay Johnson as the head coach. Like, all of that is still new. Yeah, yes, they went through practice in the off season.
But you're in game.
But now you're in game. It's real. It's live action, and they're still learning all these different things. The fielding has to get cleaned up. I know we've mentioned that. You are near the bottom of the SEC in fielding.
You are probably the bottom.
And not near the bottom.
We are the bottom.
I know they're at least the bottom or second to last in the SEC.
We're like 245th
it's
in the
bad.
country. So
it's not good. You have to clean up your fielding. And another thing is, it seems like that this team does have spurts of offense.
Yeah.
But it seems like there's been moments when you're like, we really need a hit right here.
Yeah.
We need somebody to come in the clutch. And unfortunately, they just haven't yet. And probably a lot of that comes, just by playing throughout the season and getting better at bats. I'm sure that is a lot of that. And so I will say, maybe we just need to take a step back and realize, hey, this is they're still a young, very young ball club too.
Yeah.
They're still a very young team. They're still under new leadership. There's still a lot of things that they have to put together, and we have to realize that. And so there's going to be losses that LSU takes that we don't expect them to lose. I mean, the La Tech game, I did not expect.
Seems
them to
like
lose
everybody
that
we
game.
play just immediately loses afterwards. Texas, LA Tech.
Yep.
I mean, the list goes on.
So that's going to happen. You're gonna have games that you lose that you don't expect to lose, and that's also just a part of it being baseball, right? But I still have full confidence in this team. They got to correct the fielding. They got to get better at bats with guys in scoring position.
Yep.
You clean all that up, and I think you're a lot better team. We will mention. I'm sure a lot of our viewers watched the game. Blake Money exited. I think it was in the fourth inning.
Fourth or fifth, yeah.
We found out by one of our buddies. Shout out to Cody. He works on the grounds crew. It was nothing with his shoulder. It was nothing with his elbow. It was in his
Something
hand.
with his hand.
So hopefully there's nothing serious with that, and he'll be good to go for next Friday.
And that's kind of I'm really kind of holding out hope that it's not serious, because as of right now, Blake Money is your only solidified starter and legitimate pitcher
starter
for a rotation.
We don't know who's pitching tomorrow
because we don't even know who's pitching tomorrow or
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
So you got to figure that out too.
My question is, what's wrong with Mikhail Hilliard?
I'm not quite sure. Jay said he was fine.
I call cap.
You call Cap. They said he was fine,
and maybe
I think he gets one of the stars.
Well, Jason Kelly obviously plays a huge role in this.
Yeah.
Well, Jason, if he was fine, why didn't he pitch this weekend?
Maybe part of it was due to some inconsistency there, because Miguel has had really great innings, and then he's had maybe one inning or two innings where he's had a crooked number. He's given it one or two runs. Maybe that's the case. My opinion is I think Mikhail Hilliard is definitely one of your top three pitchers, and I think I've been saying this for forever. Put him in the Sunday role because he is going to face not good pitchers on Sunday, even in the SEC. And Mikhail Hilliard against Arkansas, Ole Miss, Florida, Texas A&M, whoever it is. He is going to be a lot better than their Sunday guy.
You can win a lot of
and you're going to when you have a split game on Friday and Saturday, and you need to win that game.
Sunday,
put Mikhail Hilliard in the game.
Mikhail Hilliard might not be your elite first round Friday night guy, perhaps, but he's going to be better than everybody else's Sunday night guy.
Exactly,
that's a
my
guarantee.
point.
He's going to be better than everybody else's Sunday guy.
And you can probably win a lot of games on Friday with Blake if he's okay.
I agree.
So if whoever it may be for Saturday, even if you blow a lot of games on Saturday because maybe you don't have a consistent guy,
because you can't throw a breaking ball first Friday,
right? Then Sunday you can rely on Mikhail because he's probably gonna be better than most Sunday starters.
I mean, I'm not a Division I baseball coach necessarily. I will say that. I mean, that's just my.
We don't
I agree
either.
100%.
By any stretch.
As a fan, that's our opinion.
That's what I see. I think Mikhail Hilliard going to need a lot of games on Sunday. He's not going to blow it by guys. He's going to be crafty, but I mean, you can't ignore his breaking ball over 3,500 RPMs. I mean, that's or whatever it is.
Which, by the way, did y'all see that? Was it Cruz 109 exit velocity on his
109 No.
Was it
that was
Doty?
Barry.
Oh, it was
Barry was
It was
109.
Barry.
I mean,
They all
Cruz has
three hit a homer today.
109 per game. It seems like
He knew as soon as he hit it, it was gone. I mean, you knew it. That's one thing is if you can clean up the fielding. The fielding is what got that run for them. Well, not the run, like the crooked number up in that inning because it started with an error. Yeah. If you can limit your errors, you have guys that can come up and hit like that in any moment. And it's a great thing that we had them today because in that moment, you needed them to come through, and they hit those home runs to come through.
Here's my opinion on, look, I love the Jay Johnson, modern influence, modern coaching, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But look, all the rah-rah stuff, if you can't make routine plays,
Ground balls.
the ground balls, fly balls, stuff like that,
Then get rid of it.
That's a privilege.
Yeah.
To wear eye black, earrings, headbands, hair, beard, mustache, whatever. I understand. I want the players to have fun. I agree. But if you can't make routine plays, you can't have that stuff. That is a privilege. So I understand Jay Johnson with the, young influence, modern influence, but, that's something that
Stuff has to be cleaned up.
stuff has to be cleaned up. You have to make the routine plays in order for that swagger, that stuff to be there. You can't have the swagger and, this, that, and the other when you can't make the routine plays. You have to be able to make the small thing. If you do the small things right, the big things will follow.
Yeah.
And speaking of the fielding, I have to admit,
Oh, my goodness.
I was wrong.
I was going to fight Zach for the game today.
I was wrong.
I was going to fight him.
I was very hard on Milazzo.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, before the season started. There was a lot of hype behind McManus coming into the season, but I will admit now I was wrong.
Thank you.
Shout out Peyton when you watch this after you get off work or whatever. You were right. Milazzo needs to stay in the lineup.
Yes.
100%.
I know he's dealing with a minor injury right now, but and I mentioned this before. I love the way that Jay Johnson has used Milazzo. He has surrounded him with hitters and set him up to be productive.
Yeah.
Even I hate that it's an automatic out. You're giving the other team an out and playing the bunt.
Designated runner.
The designated out, yeah.
But it has worked.
Yeah.
Under Palmineri, Milazzo it was hard to watch last season because he struggled at the plate. He is the best catcher defensively in college baseball, in my opinion. I mean, he is elite defensively.
For sure.
And so I love how Jay Johnson has helped Milazzo with his hitting.
Yeah.
And now, obviously they worked on his hitting through the offseason, and now he's hitting over 200, right? And McManus is not hitting well right now.
So why have him in the lineup if he's not producing?
Yes. So I understand, right now, he's struggling with an injury, and obviously McManus is the one you put in while he's struggling with that injury. But I will go ahead and admit it. You need to go ahead and put Milazzo once he's back fully healthy. Put him back.
Yeah, the reason he's been in so far is Jay said he's been dealing with some soreness.
Yeah.
And so once he's 100%, I fully expect to see Milazzo back in the lineup. 100%.
I mean, Milazzo is just beyond elite defensively for sure. If the dude could bat 250, if he batted 250 for us offensively, he'd be
first round
draft pick.
Yeah.
Playing. I played against him in high school. At Zachary High over there. The dude threw 92 from his knees as a senior in high school.
Did he ever throw you out?
I was a PO, so no.
Oh, okay.
Luckily I wasn't in that position.
You didn't get to get gunned down.
I did get him to pop out to the shortstop, though. That's
there you go. There you go.
But now it doesn't seem as impressive. But
yeah.
But so I'll give you grace. You see now why the elite play of Milazzo belongs in the lineup, especially since he's batting higher than McManus is.
Especially because of that, yes.
Yeah.
And I will say at the beginning of the season, we were told McManus is going to crush.
Well, I mean, and that's fine because
maybe
we were seeing that. We were seeing that in the preseason that he was hitting a lot of home runs.
He was crushing.
He was. There's no doubt.
And maybe he's in a slump right now. And maybe he just needs to
adjust to LSU.
Acclimate to LSU baseball.
Yeah.
Acclimate to
maybe it was the pitching staff
playing.
I hope not.
That is. Yeah, I hope
that is another point. That is a
good point you make, Brandon. Yep.
But the number one thing is the fielding, no question. The number one thing is the fielding, and it must be fixed.
I will say Jay Johnson did make a good point. It's all about confidence. I personally know. I mean, coach high school baseball in the summers and stuff like that. Defense is definitely the easiest thing to coach into a player compared to obviously hitting is probably the hardest thing to coach, and then pitching as well. Defense is definitely the easiest thing to coach in a player, but it's all about confidence. If your defenders have no confidence in what they're doing, it's a 50-50 shot, really, rather than a 95% shot, which is really what it should be.
Yeah.
And so, hearing Jay Johnson from his press conference yesterday, I believe, today is what, Friday? So 2 days ago, maybe, I believe it was Wednesday, he spoke a lot to the defenders' confidence and, instilling that mindset into them, which I think is a lot of baseball's mindset. Him instilling the mindset in his defenders that, they're going to make the play, just trust your fundamentals, trust what you're doing, and it will come. I think that instilled a lot of confidence within me, just being a fan. Yeah. That, the defenders need to trust themselves and trust Jay, and that everything will come and everything will follow. Yeah. And that was a big thing for me, that really – they may take their lumps early in March, but all that matters is, April and May roll around and your defenders are confident, because, your defenders are all the talent in the world. Jordan Thompson has got all the talent in the world. If he's confident in what he's doing, there's no reason for us to worry at all.
Yeah. And there was something that Jay did different today that I might like continuing to see is we heard that Bianco was fully healthy. And Bianco is a really, really good defensive player.
Yes.
He can play just about any position.
He was my favorite center fielder last year.
Oh, he was great.
He may be the best center fielder on the team.
Yeah.
He and his play at second really, because we were struggling last year when Zach Arnold booted several balls. Yeah. And then we tried Will Safford and it was the same result. And then you put Bianco over there and he really solidified that spot. And this year, we've kind of been trying to figure out the third base role, whether it's going to be Barry, whether it's going to be Merrifield, or whatever we need to do. He put Bianco over there, and Bianco made his place today. Yeah. And I like Bianco being at third because he can make the throw. He can field cleanly. And I know his batting is not as elite, but if you put him down there, right before, right after Milazzo, and maybe get some production out of him, that may be something you could consider.
Put him near Milazzo, and they're going to feel like they have to pitch to him.
Correct. Yeah. And you have solidified your fielding a little bit more, right? Yeah. You've taken off some of the stress of the errors that have continued to happen.
Because they don't have to pitch to him. So
right.
Pitch to hit, sorry.
So do y'all think Barry is?
I knew what you meant.
Do y'all think Barry is best in right? Or is there a better option for right? Miles, did you play baseball? Yeah. Miles, come over here, man. Come on. We got Miles over here. We got to get Miles. We can't just let him sit there and watch Tulane Temple. Who wants to watch that? Who wants to watch Tulane Temple? So, Miles, what's your take on the baseball team so far?
I think it's early. They still got a lot of kinks they can work out, but I think they'll get through it. They're still elite, I think, and I believe they can make it to Omaha still.
Who's the best option for right field? You've seen Barry out there, and his bat is you gotta have his bat.
You gotta have his bat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But his defense seems like it's been a liability.
I feel like they could potentially try Joe Barry.
Yep.
Yeah.
So would Barry go to the DH?
Here's what I have to say about that.
So what happens when Beloso comes back?
Oh God, I don't know.
That's the question. Oh, that is a good question too. Do we know
the extent of his injury?
I don't know. I'm not too.
I don't know if anybody's released that.
I don't know if they have released it.
So on opening night, I coached for the Knights baseball at Louisiana, and the Mississippi, Texas, all that high school travel ball in the summer. They're really close to Beloso's parents, and so from what I understood from the opening night was that they believed it to be a torn ACL. Ooh. Obviously, he was throwing today, so I do not believe that that was before MRIs and all that good stuff.
If he's throwing today.
But that was throwing today. Yeah. That was the belief initially, is that it was a torn ACL. Yeah. Obviously, that would end his season. But, obviously he's throwing today, trying to push it back. So I'm not sure on an update on that. But
Cody
he seems to
here in the comments is saying Beloso's about 2 weeks away.
Okay, that's good to hear. That was our shout out to Cody. Works grounds crew.
Cody,
my boy.
What is the extent of the injury, if you can tell us, if you'll throw it in there, and if he, I mean, I guess he's 2 weeks away. What's the potential of him being in the lineup, Cody? If you would comment that. So if he comes back, I have said this a time or two that I don't even think our best offensive lineup has been put out yet because Beloso has been. Because if you put, I mean, I know Barry maybe hasn't been the best option at third either. But if you put Barry at third and you put Joe Barry out in right, and then you put Beloso in the DH, that's probably your best offensive lineup that you could put out there. Yeah. So I mean, we haven't seen Joe Barry in right at all. I'd like to really.
I like to think that
put him out there
there's
like a midweek game.
I'd like to think that
that's a good point.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure he can play infield and outfield.
Joe Barry?
He is listed on LSU's roster as an infielder and an outfielder.
Yeah.
So we at least know he can play out there.
What did he play at Delgado? You might know that.
It's Delgado.
I know in high school, I played against him in high school. He played outfield.
He played
outfield.
Okay.
So he could play some outfield. So I mean, there's some potential to continue to move that. But if you continue to have struggles, I don't know. I really like the idea of Bianco really solidifying the hot corner.
Yeah.
And I know Bianco's really going to bat probably 250.
Yeah, 250 would be good for Bianco.
So if you could get 250 out of Milazzo and 250 out of Bianco,
that's
I mean,
really good.
I would like to see him in at third. Really, has Mary? I mean, I don't know. I guess I've missed it.
Yeah,
but I feel like I've seen Merrifield produce at times. I mean, he produced the 8th run today, the RBI today, and have I missed some of his errors or something? I
don't know.
I haven't seen much that was that bad.
No, yeah, he's not going to offer a Trey Morgan or a Jacob Berry at bat necessarily.
Yeah,
right.
But something I've kind of noticed from him is he's going to be a little awkward, I guess, on some of the things he does from third, but he gets the job done.
Yeah.
And so I think Jay might just be experimenting with different types of lineups, different types of things he can do. Jay Johnson's a first-year coach. It's not the worst thing in the world for this team to catch their biggest stride in April or May, because that's when it matters if you're hot. If you're hot in the SEC tournament and then rolling into Omaha and rolling into, the tournament and stuff like that, that's when it matters. I could really give two craps if LSU loses to LA Tech in a midweek game. Yes. Should we beat LA Tech?
Freezing rain.
Yeah. Should we beat LA Tech? Yes. Does it frustrate me when we lose to LA Tech and they act like it's the World Series? Yes. And we got Tulane this week. They're good.
They're ranked, huh?
They're ranked.
Yeah.
They're good. They just beat
good.
Mississippi State. Mississippi State is garbage. But, should you win the midweek games? Yes. I cannot stand people. Matt, what's going on? I'm sorry. I cannot stand people who think that midweek games mean nothing. Okay, because the midweek games mean nothing if you lose every game or win every single game on the weekend. But that very rarely is a team in that position. You need to win your midweek games.
Take care of business.
Tulane, take care of business. Get it done. Whether it's Tulane, ULM, Southern Miss, Southeastern, whoever it may be. McNeese. Take care of your midweek games. Take care of the little things, and the big things will follow. And that's something in the midweek games as well. Yeah. You beat Tulane this week. It gives you some momentum going into SEC play, stuff like that. You lose to Tulane this week, all of a sudden there's a lot of negative energy in your program.
That's a big one. They're a ranked team.
Tulane is good.
They are.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Mississippi State.
They could potentially.
Mississippi State is trash. What are they? 6-6. I mean,
man, what a surprise out of state though.
Lemoyne is the Coach O of college baseball. All right.
Already getting that.
He has no idea how he got to a championship. No idea how it happened, and now his rear end is grass.
Well, they did lose Landon Sims already, haven't they?
Yes, but not in the first 12 games.
And I also got to give State some slack because my best friend or my former friends from school plays third base for them.
They win one championship in all of their sports, one championship, and they think they've made it. Now they're 6-6 in that one sport.
Yeah, they're having a very rough go.
Chris Lemoyne is the Coach O of college baseball.
We got to get to this comment. Cody has commented. We need to hear what has happened with Beloso. Or what at least Cody has heard.
Appreciate the
inside scoop. Didn't hear what it was as I walked up when he talked about his injury, But given that it was the 18th of February, he injured it.
Yes.
He's supposed to come back in a couple weeks.
Good.
I'd say a sprained knee.
Okay, that's
Fingers crossed. That's what.
That's
it
a
is.
lot better than a
you.
torn
That's a
ACL.
lot better than a torn ACL.
Thank you for that bit of information,
Yes,
Cody.
and great meeting you, by the way.
Yeah, it was
Cody.
awesome meeting Cody today. Shout out to Cody. We got to meet him at the baseball game today as well. So let's take a quick break. Let's get to our sponsors and our advertisements. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Tigers Avenue. And go check out our YouTube page. If you're watching right now, click off and hit that subscribe button and follow all of us. All of our live shows are on our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube as well. 5-Star Hero, your intro and outro music for the Tigers Avenue. They ain't ready for that LSU. Go check out all of his music on all the major platforms. Follow him at Saints Anthem and on Instagram, and on Twitter, go follow him at One Nation Doty. Also, don't forget to check out his Facebook page where all of his merchandise as well. Big shout out to Sarah Kleins Stephen, attorney at law, our wonderful aunt. She specializes and specifically focuses on elderly in their community to ensure that their wishes are carried out and their dignity is maintained. Here for you, here for your family, Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law.
Yes.
Guys, we want to encourage you to go and check out our website at tigersavenue.podbean.com. You can find the playlist to our YouTube as well as all of our latest episodes on the front page. If you go to the pages link, you can find 5-Star Heroes merch and all of his beats that are available on Apple Music and Spotify. If you go to our sponsors, you can see all of the sponsors that support Tigers Avenue and check out all of their info. If you check out the Tiger Times page, you can go and see all of our games that we've attended at Alex Box Stadium, Tiger Stadium, and the PMAC through the years. And if you click on the support page, you can go and find the QR codes for our Cash App and our PayPal to support Tigers Avenue. Again, all of this you can find at tigersavenue.podbean.com.
All right, and also don't forget to go follow at Balcony Bengals, guys. We really appreciate y'all having us
Of course.
here for this show.
Anytime.
Brandon,
Tee it up.
Yes, indeed.
Quick shout out to Modesto over there, 3930 Burbank Drive. Big sponsors over here of the Balcony Bengals. Go get you some Modesto brisket tacos. Taco Tuesday.
We might have to stop by there.
Some brisket tacos, some Modesto margaritas, man. You can't beat it. My man hates tequila. I do not like tequila, but hey, the margaritas at Modesto are unbeatable. Get you some brisket tacos, new brisket quesadillas, game day nachos, all the good stuff over there. Modesto, right there next to Walk-Ons. You know, great game day spot, great everyday spot over there in Modesto. Go check them out. 3930 Burbank Drive, right there next to Walk-Ons in that shopping center right there. Gotta give them a shot at least one or two times. Let your taco craving roll.
We might just have to go and eat that with
So,
the Bengals.
let's see this here for a second. Cody's got a lineup comment here.
Okay.
He said, but I think as far as lineup, if you want to try and experiment to see if you can have Barry, Joe Bear, and Beloso in the lineup at once, he says Joe Bear in right, Trey Morgan at third.
Wait, Trey Morgan.
I'm sorry.
And Beloso at first and Barry at DH.
Cody, with all due respect.
you can't
Cody,
take Trey
I don't
Morgan
know.
off
I've never
first.
seen Trey play third.
Cody, with all due respect.
Wait, Trey's a lefty.
Trey's a left hand.
He's left-handed.
With all due respect, Cody.
He's left-handed.
What the heck are you thinking? I'm sorry. I mean, maybe a second, but third base?
No, he's got to be at third. Cody, I'm cool with all that, but you got to leave Trey Morgan at third. I meant first.
First.
You got to leave him at first.
So,
Trey Morgan may be the best first baseman I've ever seen.
he's
Stretch
pretty,
man.
pretty incredible.
Defensively.
Defensively. Yeah.
Pretty incredible. All right.
Stretch man.
So let's move from the diamond here and let's move to the hardwood.
Oh, God.
Let's talk about the good first. I know we've hit on it a little bit.
We've already talked a lot
We
about it.
talked a lot about the bad.
Kick rocks, Pat 40.
We got about 10 minutes here.
Yeah, we got
Somebody
about 10
tag
minutes here on this.
at
It's-
We can
Pat
even get
40
into some
in the chat.
seating.
We can talk about some seating and whatnot, but let's talk about the Missouri game a little bit. Brandon, what did you like out of the Missouri game from the Tigers?
I really like the way Efton Reed stepped up. You know,
Yes.
I mean, he's a freshman. He's a young guy. I think they said he's been only playing basketball since like 8th grade year or something like that.
Not long.
So to see him step up into that role, I know Missouri is a far lesser team. I get it, but I think that kind of shows you a look into Efton Reed's future potentially.
Yeah.
When he develops some more skill, when he develops some more strength, and when he gets used to what he's doing against SEC opponents, I think that kind of shows you Efton Reed's strengths a little bit. And I really liked how the team, against a far lesser opponent, not one person took over.
Yeah.
I think everybody kind of spread it. Everybody, I mean, 5 or 6 guys had 10-plus points?
5.
Yes,
5
of them.
I mean, that's what I like to see. Not one guy had 30, 40 points. I like to see the team spread it out. And that's what I was impressed with from the Missouri win. I know Missouri's a far less opponent, but to see what Efton Reed can bring to the lineup potentially next year and, into the tournament was something that I like to see, especially, Johan Traore coming in, Julian Phillips, 2 6'10+ guys who can really handle a basketball and shoot it.
Alex Miller will be back.
Yeah,
Definitely.
He can definitely help us obviously as well.
Zach, what were your thoughts on the Missouri game?
So I thought it was interesting. It's just a little side note here, but I thought it was interesting. We got to see a little bit of Alex Fudge. I feel was that his first game back in a few?
His minutes have come down, and also Sharif needs to play some.
Well, we've been saying that Sharif doesn't.
I think Sharif, Fudge and Sharif share the same role.
Yeah.
And Sharif's grandpa passed away a couple of days ago.
Oh, I did not know that.
So I believe that is what's caused Sharif to
not play as much here.
Not play as much here in the SEC
Was he
tournament.
there today?
I'm not
play,
sure. He did
I
not
don't think
play
he was
the
on the
last
bench.
2 games. So
He did not.
my first thing was Sharif okay? Then I obviously realized his grandpa passed away. So
Our thoughts and prayers are out with
I
the
hope-
O'Neal family.
I hope he's
Didn't know
okay
that.
and ready to go for March Madness and NCAA tournament.
For sure, thoughts and prayers out to him and the Sharif, the O'Neal family. But as in regards to the Missouri game, I'm going to go back to what Brandon said. I mean, Efton played a great game, and you've seen spurts of it, and then it finally seems like it came to fruition here against Missouri, and it's like this is the dominant big man that Efton Reed can be.
Yeah.
When he was playing to his full potential. And another thing is when they were facilitating towards him, like they were giving him, they were running plays through Efton.
Yeah.
And he didn't miss. Yes, he only took 6 shots, but he didn't miss. And so he played really well. Now my one, this is a game that you should have won. You dominated basically the entire game.
Yeah.
My one thing is they definitely let off the gas there at the end.
Absolutely.
They started to play a little bit sloppy. You could tell that they were like, "We've got this in the bag. The game's over. All right, let's run some clock." And they got a little sloppy at the end. You got to pay 60 minutes, and just go ahead and put the nail in the coffin. They let them get back. And I know they weren't going to win the game, but they kind of let them get back into it there a little bit at the end. That was my only negative from the game. And Pinson gets a win over his former team again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Miles, what were your thoughts?
Man, I was impressed with Efton. I really think he's going to have a bright future at LSU.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of growth.
I think people
he's got a lot of
definitely sleep on the improvement that a guy like
That he's
Efton Reed
made
can have.
from the beginning.
Yeah.
Now, I am going to have to call out one of our good buddies, AD, because AD, for whatever reason, believes that Efton is not coming back next year.
Oh,
AD, Efton will be back next
he will
year.
be back.
I
Where's
love
he
you,
going?
my guy.
Where's he going?
He may test the waters and enter his name,
Oh,
but he
God.
is coming back.
I mean, he's 7 foot tall.
AD makes a good point because of how big he is and
He
because
struggled in conference a little.
Yeah.
bit.
but I full-heartedly believe that Efton will be back next year.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been really encouraging to see what we've seen here recently from him.
Yeah.
Especially going to next year, you mentioned all the guys that are coming in.
Yeah.
Adam Miller will be healthy.
Yeah.
So I know we've ended the SEC play and SEC tournament here, and I know we've still got the postseason. We'll discuss seeding here in just a couple of seconds. But it is really, really encouraging to see the potential of next year's team.
I was happy for a guy who saw so much negativity throughout the year.
Yes.
For him to have a positive day and for people to praise him.
6 for 6.
Yeah, 6 for 6. I mean, if you can get 12 points from Efton Reed in a game next year, you win a lot.
Cody said, like I said, he's speaking on Efton Reed here.
Mm-hmm.
He said he got a skill boost from the haircut. He spent his VC wisely.
I tweeted that. Yeah, he told us he went and spent his VC.
So
and, got a new hairdo. And
my one comment on the Missouri game, a stat that has been overlooked, and I'll keep it brief so we can discuss seeding. Brandon Murray had 9 assists.
Yes, I saw that.
9.
Yes.
7 points, 9 assists. I would not be opposed to seeing Brandon run the point a little bit more because that stat popped out to me afterwards because I don't know if I've seen anybody close to 10 assists on the season other than Xavier Pinson.
Yeah.
I would like to see him run the point a little bit more when Pinson comes out. Instead of letting Gaines run the point, letting B. Murray run the point.
At least share it, yeah.
Absolutely. So let's finish the show here on seeding. LSU wins 1 and they lose 1 in the SEC tournament. Okay. And before the tournament, you're a projected 6-7 seed. You beat Missouri. Yeah. CBS, ESPN bracketology had you at a 5 after you won that game. Brandon, where do we stand now? Where do you think we're going to land?
I think, going into the tournament, as long as you didn't lose to an Ole Miss or Missouri, you really didn't have much to lose.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think a 5 or a 6 seed is probably appropriate for us. Now, knowing LSU is always underseeded, 6 or 7 may be, more appropriate, depending on, what the committee has to say and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think as long as you avoid a 8 or a 9 seed, you're in a good place. You're in a good place compared to what you were before. Now, going into today, I thought I was really confident I win against Arkansas, and that may have bumped you to a 5 or 6 instead of 6 or 7.
Yeah.
But I think, like Will Wade said, we're safe from an 8 or a 9 as long as you beat Missouri. If you'd have lost to Missouri yesterday,
it's questionable.
They would have used that as an excuse to stick you as
especially the caliber opponent you were playing.
Exactly. But you didn't have a great day against Arkansas today, but you took care of business against Missouri, so I think we'll probably be a 6 or 7. First round should be okay. We'll see where the second round takes us.
I have to agree with Brandon. I think when they beat Bama, I think they for sure locked down a 7 seed at the least. Being Missouri, now I think they have the potential to be a 6 or a 7. I think 5 is probably a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Maybe not much, but I think it is a little bit of a stretch. So I am looking at a 7 or a 6 seed, and I think because it's LSU, they're going to get the 7 seed. Now, if they get the 8 or 9 seed, I will blow up.
Yeah. They host us.
That's straight robbery. Yeah. Straight robbery. And that would be specifically just because they are out against LSU and Will Wade and everything going on. I hope that they do the players right because the players that are on this team have nothing to do with what happened 4 years ago and that recruit and everything that happened back then. So you need to respect those players and the job that they've done this year. Reagan mentioned it, I think, was it on the last show? Like, they did not expect to be where they're at right now when Adam Miller went down, because when Adam Miller went down and they came into that room, it was like everything had been taken out of them. Yeah. And if you had told them, 20 wins, they would have been, like, shocked.
Yeah.
And so they have 23 or 22 wins on the season. They played their butts off. Yes, they had that really rough stretch. And if you have Xavier Pinson in that stretch, which is another thing that the committee should consider, you probably win 3 to 4 of those games.
Yeah.
And they played phenomenal. So I believe this team deserves a 7 or a 6 seed, and I hope it's one of those 2.
Miles, I'm going same thing as him. I'm going 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I think
pretty
7
safe
is
bet.
I'm pretty sure we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
We're probably all in agreement. Yes.
all in the same range. Right there.
So I honestly think the caliber team that this is, had Xavier not got hurt, had Adam Miller not gotten hurt, I think the caliber
2-3 team.
This type of team could have easily been a 4-3 seed.
Yeah,
easily.
I think Will Wade put it in. He said on Jordy Collada's show the other day, before Adam Miller was hurt, LSU was projected a 5 seed.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Before Adam Miller was hurt, LSU was projected to finish, I believe, 5th or 6th in the SEC.
Sixth, yeah.
Before Adam Miller was hurt, they were projected 6th in the SEC. They finished 5th without him.
Yep.
And Adam Miller was the leading scorer on Illinois last year, who's got Kofi Cogburn and all these other guys. If Adam Miller was healthy, this team could have possibly been, top 2 or 3 in the SEC and possibly a 1 or 2 seed.
Absolutely.
So, LSU has overachieved this year. For people to say, "Oh, Will Wade gets all these recruits, yada yada yada," he never, gets to the expectation, blah blah. That's garbage.
Actually, overachieved.
Yeah, he exceeded the expectations this year, and I think next year would be assuming the team is healthy, it'll be a really, a label on Will Wade as to what he can do with a legitimate roster. You got Julian Phillips, what is he, 6'9", 6'10" guy who can handle a ball, very just Jabari Smith-esque kind of guy. Johan Traore, a true 7-footer who can play along with Ethan Reed, Sharif O'Neal, guys like that. I think, Will Wade, does he have some, holes in his X's and O's? Maybe.
Yeah.
But he gets the 5 stars here. If we fire Will Wade, we will riot. Okay? This is garbage. Fire Will Wade. Save the football program. Blah, blah, blah. We ain't firing anybody.
We want him here.
Yes, exactly. Well, who are you going to hire? Rick Pitino? Come on. The guy who was hiring ladies of the night for his basketball program? Okay? Who are you going to hire? Okay.
That's one thing I don't even know who we would go after.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Keep Will Wade. Maybe hire a guy who has some expertise in the X's and O's of college basketball. No. Hire some guys who may have some expertise in some X's and O's of college basketball to help Will Wade out. But he gets the 5 stars here. What else are you going to do?
He's a tenacious recruiter.
He is.
And one thing that worries me, though, y'all, and I would love to see Will Wade stay. I definitely don't want him fired by any means, but his alma mater job seems all but open.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's a new AD there, and there's probably a new energy around the AD to make a splash hire. And when your alma mater job is open and you're at one job where people don't like you, people are hating you, some people are calling for your head, and all this junk is going on.
We don't even have a weight room in the basketball facility. The basketball players have to walk across the street to go to the weight room.
And your facilities aren't up to date.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So we'll see how it all plays out. But LSU does have some improvements to make to solidify Will Wade. And I don't think we should hang all of this on Will Wade by any means.
Not at all.
The fact that we've overachieved what we were projected especially since you lost Adam Miller, should show what kind of coach he is.
Will Wade is getting the 5 stars and the top talent in the nation with a quarter of the facilities and the stuff that other programs have. Yeah. They have to walk across the street in sweatpants to go lift weights. Are you kidding me? You go to TCU. They haven't won a national championship since we were fighting the Nazis in Germany. And they have facilities with weight rooms and everything they could want in their gym.
Inexcusable.
Give him what he wants and what he needs.
Scott Woody, get it done.
Woodward, get it done. I trust in Woodward to get it done.
All right, guys. We're going to take a quick break to do our ads, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap up the show. One last time, don't forget to follow us on our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Tigers Avenue. Don't forget to go to subscribe on our YouTube channel at Tigers Avenue as well. Our streams are on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, click off of it and hit the subscribe button. Now, 5-Star Hero, your intro and outro music for the Tigers Avenue show. They ain't ready for that LSU. Go check out all his music on all the major platforms. Follow him on Instagram at Saints Anthem and Twitter at One Nation Doty. Don't forget to check out his Facebook page where he's got all of his merchandise. Sarah Klein-Steven, attorney at law, our wonderful aunt. She does excellent work in Amory, Mississippi. Go check her law firm out as well. They specifically focus on meeting the elderly's needs and maintaining their dignity. We are here for you, here for your family. Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law.
Guys, we want to encourage you to go and check out our website at tigersavenue.podbean.com. You can find the playlist to our YouTube as well as all of our latest episodes on the front page. If you go to the pages link, you can find 5 Star Heroes merch and all of his beats that are available on Apple Music and Spotify. If you go to our sponsors, you can see all of the sponsors that support Tigers Avenue and check out all of their info. If you check out the Tiger Times page, you can go and see all of our games that we've attended at Alex Box Stadium, Tiger Stadium, and the PMAC through the years. And if you click on the support page, you can go and find the QR codes for our Cash App and our PayPal to support Tigers Avenue. Again, all of this you can find at tigersavenue.podbean.com.
All right. Don't forget also to go follow at Balcony Bengals. We appreciate y'all one more time for having us on. This has been super awesome.
Of course. It's been a blast. Hey, any guys watching today, Sunday we're going to give a quick graphic out, a quick announcement. There's a Balcony Bengals bracket challenge coming via Fred's and some other new surprise sponsors coming. Balcony Bengals bracket challenge for March Madness. We'll have 3 winners, first, second, and third place. I believe first place right now is going to be a crawfish bowl at Fred's for you and 15 of your friends. It's free to join the Balcony Bengals bracket challenge. We'll have that posted up Sunday. The link will be in our bio. Join it. Submit your bracket, your perfect bracket, and get ready to rock and roll with the Balcony Bengals bracket challenge. I'm sure the guys here at Tigers Al will be in it. We'll have plenty of guys as well. Join in on Sunday. We'll have it posted. Check the link in our bio Sunday and get ready to rock and roll.
Absolutely. Y'all go follow at Balcony Bengals on all their social media platforms and get involved in their tournament bracket challenge. Hey, we appreciate y'all coming and listening and all of your support and your continued support. Keep commenting, keep liking, keep following, keep sharing. We're going to keep pumping out episodes, and we really enjoy doing this and interacting with y'all. Appreciate you listening. We'll catch you next time on Monday in the next edition of Tigers Avenue. 5 Star, take us out.
Who that 5 Star? Who that 5 Star? Who that 5 Star? And the